is ready to walk it alone.
Now that I've got my ace, I have a full house. I give the people what they want, and they always want more.
Don't call it a comeback. Call it a takeover.
Hey YouTube, let's talk the most recent episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I did make some notes tonight so I wouldn't miss anything in the episode, so I will be looking down periodically just to look at my notes to make sure that I'm going in the order of the episode and that I don't forget anything. So the first thing that I thought that was so funny was when the episode started, Sheree made a comment that she doesn't sleep with bears. Bob Whitfield surely seems to resemble a bear to me. He is huge, but she don't sleep with bears. Oh my God. Of course, Sheree is messy, and her first concern is that talking to Marlo, having a conversation when they check into the cabin, she's having a conversation with Marlo, and she's like, well, someone has been saying that someone has been sleeping in the lady pond, but I don't want to say no names and da-da-da. And Marlo's like, well, I have heard that about Candy before. Sheree doesn't say, yay or nay. She just says, but there has been rumors going around. She plants the seed for somebody like Marlo, who is probably going to bring it up. And she's like, I really do like these ladies, but they're always talking about each other behind their backs and da-da-da. But that's what you're doing right now. You're talking about them behind their back. All y'all do it. That's what y'all do. So why does it bother you so much that they do that? Obviously, they're recording. They're going to see what they're going to say. It's all going to come out. But why do you feel like you have to be the one to take it to them and say, well, I was sitting with them and they said this? Why do you feel like that's your job responsibility? Nobody tapped you, Sheree, and said that you are the one that's supposed to go back and tell what was said when somebody else was not there. You don't even give them the opportunity to go to somebody and say something, because before they even have the opportunity, you have already went back the next day and told everything that was said. Then, when they was putting up the tents, and Kenya was like, oh, Sheree, can you help me blow up my air mattress, because I know you got a lot of experience with that. That is so shady. She is so shady. But let somebody say something about her. It is just so below the belt. I hate that about her. I just hate it. So then when they were camping and they were like, it wasn't like a campfire because the campfire was behind them. They were sitting around, and I guess it was time for them to play their little Ask Marlo or whatever. And nobody really had any questions. I guess nobody really was like paying Marlo no mind. So Phaedra asked something silly about what would you wear, something silly. And Lauren, Portia's sister, said, well, Marlo, I heard you say earlier that you and Kenya are no longer friends. So why are y'all no longer friends? Who asked a question like that? Especially when the other person is sitting right there. Like, number one, why is that your business? But why would you bring that up? If they're not friends, why would you even say that? That is so crazy. So then Marlo starts to go in like, okay, well, she didn't invite me to her party. So Kenya was like, well, we already talked about that. Then Marlo goes in, like, she just goes in on that girl. And it's so funny because the stuff that Kenya was saying back, Marlo was like, oh, whatever. And she just went in when she told that girl, when your own mama don't want to have nothing to do with you, you know it's something wrong. She knows she ain't had no business saying that. She knows something wrong with that girl, mama. She ain't had to say that. So obviously too, Kenya is definitely scared of Marlo because she really did not say nothing back to her. Like, if it would have been Portia or somebody else, she'd have been pointing the fingers and doing, all type of stuff. She ain't say nothing. Marlo was going in. She sat back quiet like a mouse, like. So then right after that, Phaedra was like, oh, well, we're sisters and we all need to get along and support each other. And it was so funny because everybody was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And it was like such a fake kumbaya moment. So phony. So that was a whole end of the whole one night sleeping outside thing or whatever. So the next day, it starts with Kenya walking those stinking little dogs, and I am so tired of seeing those stupid dogs, Twirl and King or whatever the other dog's name is. But it's like she took the dogs when she went to the family reunion with Matt to Cincinnati. She took the dogs when she went with Phaedra to Michigan camping with the kids, and now she got the dogs again when she's going glamping. Can you please board the dang on dogs? They will keep your dogs for you. I don't understand why she don't board them stupid dogs. She takes them freaking everywhere. And it was like the girl that Candy brought, they don't show her doing anything. It's like she's just a body. Every once in a while you catch her in the shot, but she hasn't said anything. She hasn't done anything. It's like, Candy, why did you bring her? Like, are they just cutting everything that she does? So random. Just like she's random for being there, because who is she? It's just so random. So then on to the 100-foot power drop, which no thank you. I most definitely would not do. I wouldn't even have walked up and walked back. I would be at the bottom watching whatever fool wanted to jump off the dang on 100-foot ledge, because I would not be doing it. I don't do heights. But the thing is, the two people that planned it, you should be doing activities that you at least would do as the leaders. I mean, can you act like she was terrified? It was your idea. Why didn't y'all zip line or do something like that? Why would you do something that is terrifying, like jump? That's just crazy. Kenya planned it, and it was stupid, like something Kenya would. Then the final dinner or whatever, or I don't know if it's the final dinner, but they're sitting at dinner. Marlo says, Marlo and Kenya apologize to each other. And then she says, well, y'all some fake hoes, because I know for a fact that there's some things being said and y'all acting like y'all get along with each other, but y'all fake. So she says, so Candy, I just want to know, are you a lesbian in the closet? Now, the girl had originally said on the previous episode, Candy and her husband both slept with Shamir. That does not mean that she is a lesbian, because she engages in sexual encounters with a woman with her husband, I'm assuming in a threesome or something. Or even if she does, wouldn't that make her bisexual, trisexual? I don't know. But why would you say a lesbian in the closet? Of course she could say, no, I'm not a lesbian. I have a husband. I like to have sex with men. So no, I'm not a lesbian. You should have been asked, and you asked the wrong question. What you should have asked is what you really wanted to know is, have you had sex with Shamia? Because that's really what you were saying. They were saying you and your husband have both slept with her. So that's really the burning question. Did you sleep with Shamia? Did your husband sleep with Shamia? Is Shamia y'all's prostitute? Because they were saying they, but I don't know what type of thing they got going on, but that's what you should ask. So then when they like, well, where did that come from? And she like, well, Sheree told me, and Sheree was like, well, I don't want to name names. You don't want to name names since when? You have every other time. Then she gonna say, like elementary school. So like elementary school, she goes, well, if the person wants to say who they are, they're at this table or whatever.
So, Portia, you and I were having a conversation.
Like, so dumb. If the person was going to say, the person would have already said. So then she goes, well, Portia and I was having a conversation. I mean, so then you throw Portia out there. Then Portia, I guess she said, I'm not going down in these flames by myself. She like, well, you brought up the whole Shamia thing or whatever when we was with Phaedra. And Sheree like, I didn't bring up nothing with Shamia. Lord, so here we go with the mess. So Candy is like, well, I have done stuff with girls before, but I ain't never did more than what you have done, talking about Portia. My thing is, okay, you want to say what you have done, keep it at that. Why you trying to bring her into it? You don't know if she said something, didn't say something, whatever, but why would you be like, I haven't done no more than what you have done? Was you there? obviously she must have been there. You must have been there because you feel like you know in detail. Like, do you have the video? What is it? I don't understand. Crazy. These some petty hoes. So they leave the dinner and everybody goes back to their respective corners. Is Phaedra, Portia, and her sister. They're talking about what just happened at the table. Then you have Candy, Cynthia, and Kenya, and they're talking about what happened. Portia, and Phaedra, and I'm sure her sister probably too, know, they know each other's business. So for them to discuss something, like, they probably already would know. But Candy, why are you discussing stuff with Cynthia and with Kenya? Kenya don't like Portia, so she's trying to get ammunition to be able to use at a later time in case they get into it. She's just gathering the intel. And then Cynthia, she bored and lonely, so she ain't got nothing better to do, just, trying to get the information. But this is all new information to them. So she up here talking about how, oh, when she get drunk, she a real lesbian. She be real aggressive. You're not a lesbian when you're drunk. And if you're attracted to women, what is this whole lesbian thing? I don't understand. Like, oh my God, let it go. And she like, it's gonna get worse and I'm gonna end up having to spill the real tear. But it's like, why? How old are you? You 40 years old. You too old. If she do something, that's her business. Like, if you do something, that's your business. If you want to tell it, that's your business. If she don't want to tell it, that's her business. But why do the world need to know? Oh my God. So, more to come this season, but it's more pettiness and shadiness to come. That's all they about this season. So, look like we finally gonna get to see the chateau. Maybe. I don't know. Talk to y'all later.